Hello everyone, I'm Bruffy1322 and this video is going to show the fastest fully upgraded cars per class in terms of lap time as of the Arena War update, and only including vehicles that can be used in regular races. As always, the precision counter is in the top left with the best lap time the vehicle achieved in the top right, and if you're interested in the performance of all of the vehicles in the game, check the playlist link in the description or the pinned comment alongside the top speed testing series. If you want to know more information about this testing, including the extent to which it's accurate and how useful it is for you personally, have a read of the full description as everything that you need is in there. And for the performance of any future vehicle editions, feel free to subscribe for new testing videos every Thursday, and check out my Patreon or become a YouTube member if you'd like to support me and get testing results early. Now, as I said, this video will only focus on vehicles that can be used in regular races in GTA Online, but if you're interested in all other classes, they are in the playlist. You'll be seeing the quickest car in each class on screen and any possible alternatives to use in the bottom left if other vehicles are close enough to be competitive. If a car isn't shown either on screen or in the bottom left, that means it's generally not quick enough to be viable in a racing situation in most cases against these cars that are shown. Lap times for any car not seen here can again be found within the playlist videos. So we've seen the three slowest best vehicles in the class, I guess you could say, with the Sadler. Then we had the Rumpo Custom, which was only a slight bit quicker than the Gang Burrito, and then also the Speedo Custom, which is also usable in races now anyway. That is pretty close as well. So there are three options in van races, but then when it comes to compacts, the Brioso is utterly dominant and there's nothing really much else you can do with any other car. The Zion and the Zion Cabrio are pretty much exactly the same, so those are the dominant force when it comes to coupe races, and then the Felon, the Exemplar and the Jackal are kind of there or thereabouts, but not too great. And then we come to the Muscles class, which is pretty close between the top four, to be honest, and it's really the closest class that we'll see during the course of this video, with the Yosemite in first place, then the Pisswasser Dominator, the Clique and the Sabre Turbo Custom, all very close, within a couple of tenths of a second of each other. But the same can't be said for the SUVs class, where the Toros is just ridiculous. It's horrible to drive, so it's not exactly the most fun vehicle, but even if you crash a couple of times driving this thing, it's still going to be much quicker than any other SUV that's available in the game. The Contender is the next best and it's over 4 seconds per lap slower, so not really much else you can do with any other SUV. Now, fourth place overall, we've got the Shafter V12, which gets to 1 minute 5.1, so we're starting to get up there in terms of lap times. Now, the Shafter V12 is actually technically in the sports class. It can be used in sports races because it's a sports vehicle, but it can also be used in sedan races. Now, the Shafter V12 armoured version is technically the quickest technical sedan, you know, the one that's actually in the sedans class, and it's only a tenth of a second slower than the Shafter V12, so if you want more armour, certainly that's the one to go for, but they're both leagues above everything else in the sedans class. Now, top three, we got Sports Classics in third place with the Turismo Classic with a 104.5. That's, you know, a good lap time, kind of on the sort of level of almost the top level of sports cars, so pretty good lap time from the Turismo Classic. And then only just under half a tenth of a second ahead, just under half a second, sorry, not half a tenth of a second behind it is the Cheetah Classic with a 104.9. And yeah, both of these vehicles are pretty good. You've also got the Rapid GT, and it's a shame that the Ardent can't be used as well, but yeah, mainly the Turismo and the Cheetah are the ones to go for. Now, no surprises for the sports class, obviously, with the Pariah in first place, but the Italia GTO is in a close second in terms of the testing that I've done, and depending on the situation, the Italia GTO can be quicker. It really does gain a benefit from bumps in the city, but also with that comes the added risk that you're going to just, you know, crash randomly. So the Pariah is certainly the best bet for an overall racing situation, but there are going to be some situations where the Italia GTO is quicker, and that kind of goes for a lot of the you know, classes here. Certain vehicles will be quicker in certain situations, but in general these are the top few that you're always going to be wanting to use. Finally, we come to the supercars class, and of course it's the Wagner in number one. We already know that. 59.1 seconds for a lap time is absolutely crazy. We are going to see a comparison between the best in supers of the Wagner and the best in sports of the Pariah towards the end of the video. But there are, you know, 4 other vehicles in the supercars class now. With the addition of the Divest 8, on certain tracks that have a lot of long straights, the Divest 8 can actually be competitive with this top 4, and then the RE7B, the XA21 and the Autark again in certain situations can be competitive, but ultimately the Wagner is pretty much the king for supercars and therefore all raceable cars in the game. Like I said, this only contains the raceable cars, so cars that you can use in standard races in GTA Online. So there's a lot of vehicles that, you know, are actually quicker than many of the things that we've seen here, but if you want to see what those are, obviously the entire listing for all classes, including all vehicles that are actually in those classes, is in the playlist that's linked in the description. Now we do have 2 bonus classes because I did say that this was the fastest cars video, so we'll just include the motorbikes right at the end. And it's amazing still that the quickest off-road vehicle that you can use in an off-road vehicles race is a motorcycle. The BF400 is much quicker than anything else you can use, and the Sanchez is even in second place for the off-roads class. They're technically not in the off-roads class, but they can be used in off-road races, and they are much quicker than the actual number 1 of the Camacho. And then when it comes to the motorcycles class, we've obviously got the Shitaro. Nothing has really changed from that point. We've had additions such as the Oppressors and the Death Bike, which are pretty quick vehicles, but since none of them can be used in regular races, the Shitaro is still the number 1, with the Hakucho drag in a very close second place, only a tenth of a second between them. And again, in various different situations, they are going to be, you know, one will be better than the other. So as always with these videos, there will be the top speed version for this video next Thursday. It'll be exactly the same sort of thing. We'll go over the quickest vehicle from every single class in terms of top speed, and it'll be obviously, as this one has been, ordered in it'll be in the order of the quickest vehicle from each class. So one thing that I will probably do at some point in the future is, you know, rank the classes themselves based on maybe average lap time or something like that, average top speeds as well, and see which are the best classes overall. But you know, let me know any ideas that you have, if you have any specific videos that you want to see, specific categorizations of vehicles, four-door cars, you know, armored vehicles, whatever it might be. Leave a comment down below, and I'll certainly give it some thought. As we've just seen the comparison there between the Pariah and the Wagner is pretty crazy around those corners. The Pariah does catch up a little bit on the back straight, but ultimately the Wagner is the quickest raceable car in the entire game. So I hope this serves as a really good video to, you know, just give you the basics. If you're interested in racing, this is, you know, kind of the cheat sheet really. It gives you the vehicles that you need for each specific class of racing, and just take one of these vehicles and you'll be pretty competitive as long as your driving skill is good enough. But we will be seeing the top speed testing for these classes next week, and it is a little bit different to what we've seen here. So that's pretty much it for this video. Remember to read the description for more info, comment with your thoughts, like the video if you enjoyed or found it helpful, subscribe for more, and consider supporting on Patreon or becoming a member on YouTube. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.